Hello, my name is Mark Fox, and Larry was a very dear and close friend of mine. You know, I still remember the first time I ever laid eyes on Larry. I was a sophomore at Antioch High School, and I was walking down the hall headed to, I think it was a social studies class. And down the hall in the distance, I could see this guy standing at the door. I said, I wonder who this guy is. And as I got closer, I realized he wasn't standing at the door. He was sort of leaning against the door, and he was talking to a cute girl that was in my class. So I said, yeah, who is this guy? So anyway, I got to the door. I looked at the girl. She looked at me. I never acknowledged Larry. I walked straight in. I was determined I wasn't going to talk to this guy. Now, during this same period of time, I was working at Shoney's down at Knowlesville Road in Harding. I got to work one day, and Mr. Parrish, my boss, came out and he said, "Hey, Mark, we got a new guy here. I want you to show him the ropes. He's going to be a cook." I said, "Okay, yeah, I'm glad to help." So I walked back to the back where we get our shirts, and we put those on. And I don't know if you remember, back in those days, the Shoney's cooks had these sort of blue caps and scarves. And I walked into the room, and there was this guy fumbling with his hat, trying to figure out how to get it on. And he looked at me and he said, "Hi, I'm Larry Norman." And I said, "Hi, I'm Mark Fox." And that was the day that a very long and deep and significant friendship started. Larry and I and four other guys, we did just about everything together. We ran around, we went to concerts. Larry had a girlfriend, I had a girlfriend. We double dated. We used to all pile into the car and drive around and put the 08 track of Led Zeppelin in and sing our hearts out to Stairway to Heaven. Or maybe we would put a Gary Puckett and the Union Gap 8-track in, and we'd let Larry solo, and he did a wonderful job with it. But one thing we all did, and Larry was a perfect example of this, is that we worked hard. Whatever our jobs were, we were all working hard because we had learned from our parents, thank goodness, that you got to work hard to get ahead. And so we had no problem with that. You know, when high school was over, Larry went down to MTSU, and not long after that, he met Georgianne. And since we were such close friends, pretty soon after that, I got to meet Georgianne. And I think you all know that Georgianne was a wonderful blessing to Larry during his whole life. So thank you, Georgianne, for doing that. Larry was humble. Larry was kind. Larry would help you in any way he could. He helped me immensely many times. He wasn't selfish. He always knew that for us to be better people, we've got to work on things. And Larry, he would try his best to work on his things, and we'd all try our best to work on our things. But we got through life, and I thank God for my friendship with Larry. And I hope that God's grace helps Georgianne and Jessica and Gail to get through this difficult time. And I thank them for sharing Larry with all of us for all of our lives. So, yeah, I've got many memories of Larry, and I think about him still every day. And I miss him. So Larry, maybe we'll see you someday, and thank you for the memories.
Now the only thing that a gambler needs to do is have a drunk. And the only time that he's satisfied is when
So my favorite memories of Larry are when he was up on stage performing, singing. He was really in his element. He was so happy and gave 100% and always got the crowd involved, and you could just see the love and passion that he had for singing and performing. His smile always made you feel welcome. His laugh, absolutely contagious, always made everyone laugh. And we will definitely miss you. We love you. Your love for Georgianne and the girls is something we all strive for. We will miss you. We love you.
Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. In your life, it's sin and misery and the house of the rising sun.
When I think of Larry Norman, I think of, the first word I think of is passion. And I'll never forget the night, the last time when Larry sang Always on My Mind for Georgianne at their anniversary. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I thought, man, I don't know if I could do that. And but Larry's passion, whenever he came up and sang and played with us, was a beautiful thing. And I'm gonna miss him tremendously. But the reason we miss him so much is because he gave us so much love while I was here. So here's to Larry Norman.
One foot on the platform, the other foot on the train. Or going back to New Orleans, where that ball had changed.
Well, Larry, there's always going to be a giant hole in my heart where you were, and we miss you so much, and we'll always love you, brother, and until we see you again, much love, Larry.
A house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many poor boys, and God, I know I'm one.
Larry, from the first time I met you and you found out that my father had died in Vietnam, I feel like we formed a very special bond. And I'm very grateful for all your genuine kindness you've shown me over the years. I'm sure my father has found you already and thanked you as well. You are greatly missed. We love you.
One of my favorite memories of our beloved Larry Joe Norman was a Halloween, and we yard dogs were celebrating at the Brentwood Grill. And so I wore my red evil woman costume along with this blonde wig. And I walked in and I went back to the bar first, and I was talking to the bartender and getting a drink, and Larry walked up and he was about 3 feet away from me. And he looked over and he said hello, and we exchanged hellos. And then he looked me up and down and he said, I like red. And we laughed about that story for years. And the other favorite memory is when he and Georgianne were celebrating their wedding anniversary, and it was when Barry was playing at Elysian Field, and Larry got up and serenaded Georgianne with You Were Always on My Mind. And it brought a lot of tears to our eyes. And I told him, I said, Larry, you really raised the bar for celebrating anniversaries. So, Larry, we love and miss you, and you'll always be in our hearts.